It's 2025, and a lot of us are fed up with celebrities. There's a debate going on right now asking whether or not Gen Z will finally see the end of celebrity culture. After the pandemic and the mass delusionment caused by the less than stellar behavior of many of our favorites, the question on everyone's mind is, are celebrities over? But despite all that, there are many stars who are aware of the platform they've been given and use it to do as much good as they can, championing causes they believe in and taking initiatives. So who are they, and what have they done? Stick around and find out. Spike Lee. You might not have seen too much of this guy because all the work he does is behind the camera, but he's definitely left his mark on Hollywood. Spike Lee, the director and producer, has always used his platform to show everyone the issues the African American community goes through. Through films like Do the Right Thing and Malcolm X, he's taken on systemic racism, police brutality, and the complexities that come with being a black person in modern-day America. His movies have gone a long way in starting important conversations and are still relevant in discussions about race and social justice. His 2020 movie Da 5 Bloods highlights the experiences of Black Vietnam War veterans, shedding light on their struggles and systemic inequalities they faced upon returning home. Lee's movies have been extremely helpful in showing the rest of the world the plight of the Black community in America, and helped them be understood on a larger scale. Billie Eilish. Billie may only be 23, but has already become a powerful voice for social and environmental change. In 2020, she performed at the Democratic National Convention, urging people to vote for leaders who address issues like climate change and systemic racism. Then there was also her climate-focused documentary Overheated and the special events held after its release, with the aim of uniting activists and leaders to take action. Eilish has also put an effort to reducing the environmental impact of her tour, collaborating with organizations like Reverb and promoting sustainability. She's also spoken up about causes and has been really vocal about what she thinks is right. Eilish has publicly backed the Black Lives Matter movement, stood against systemic racism, and participated in peaceful protests. She's also addressed body positivity and mental health, using her platform to empower her fans. We can definitely see why she has such a massive following. Meryl Streep. This veteran actress has never shied away from using her platform to talk about important issues. She's always gone for roles that authentically represent women's experiences and avoided unrealistic ones. Throughout her career, she's been outspoken about gender discrimination in the film industry and called for equal opportunities and representation. Other than her performances, she's also done a lot to improve women's positions in Hollywood. Streep stood behind initiatives like the National Women's History Museum and funded scholarships for female screenwriters over 40, showing her support for other women in the arts. At the 74th Golden Globe Awards in January 2017, she gave a touching speech in defense of immigrants in the United States. Without taking names, she criticized Donald Trump for mocking a disabled reporter. All of these things make her a true icon. She's not concerned with political correctness and tiptoeing around facts to avoid offending anyone. John Legend. The acclaimed singer-songwriter and the first black man to achieve EGOT status is also really dedicated to social justice and equality. He grew up in a lower middle-class black family in Ohio and saw firsthand how messed up the justice system is. And so, in 2007, he launched the Show Me campaign, which aimed to end poverty by supporting education initiatives and ensuring access to good schooling for all children. Legend also founded Free America in 2014, which focused on improving the U.S. criminal justice system. Through this initiative, he is engaged in policy discussions and supported reforms to fix mass incarceration and systemic inequities. Then, in 2021, he announced Human Level, another initiative made to uplift communities disproportionately affected by institutionalized racism. This project seeks to address racial disparities by promoting civic engagement and supporting local organizations working towards systemic change. Anne Hathaway. This actress always speaks her mind on social media, tackling controversial topics all the time, like gun control, LGBTQ+ rights, harassment, and gender inequality. In 2018, after a tragic stabbing of 18-year-old Nia Wilson by a white man in Oakland, California, Hathaway posted photos of Nia on her Instagram and condemned Americans for sitting around and not taking action. She highlighted the daily fears faced by Black individuals in America and called on white people, including herself, to confront and address their inherent privileges. Her heartfelt message resonated widely, shedding light on systemic racism and the need for collective action. Other than that, she's been a consistent advocate for human rights. She has publicly backed abortion rights, gun control, and immigrant rights, and has criticized anti-immigration policies. Most celebrities try to avoid talking about that stuff, and for understandable reasons, but not Anne. She's not afraid to lose a few fans if that's the cost of speaking up for what's right. Meghan Markle. Even before becoming royalty, the Duchess of Sussex was always really passionate about social justice. At the tender age of 11, when most of us are still watching cartoons, she publicly called out a sexist dishwashing liquid ad, and then led a successful letter-writing campaign that actually forced the company to change their slogan. She only got more and more committed to her causes as she grew older. In 2015, Meghan delivered a powerful speech at the UN Women's Conference, proudly declaring, "I am proud to be a woman and a feminist." She's not all words either. Her work goes beyond just speeches, and she has actively participated in initiatives promoting women's rights. As a global ambassador for World Vision Canada, she traveled to Rwanda to support the Clean Water campaign and visited India to raise awareness about women's issues, particularly in relation to menstrual health. She's also worked on some environmental causes. She co-founded the Archwell Foundation with Prince Harry and has backed some environmental initiatives that focused on conservation and sustainability. Timothée Chalamet. Time magazine named Timothy as one of the most promising actors of his generation, and it's obvious to see why. Not only is his career on an upward trajectory, but he's also become a pop culture icon. Despite his rising fame, he is still a pretty grounded and socially conscious guy. In 2018, at the height of the Me Too movement, allegations against director Woody Allen came out, and Chalamet, who was acting in his movie A Rainy Day in New York, decided to show support to victims by donating his entire paycheck from the film to charities that helped survivors of sexual assault and advocated for gender equality, including Time's Up, the LGBT Center in New York, and RAINN. Beyond this, he's been really vocal about gender equality and the importance of feminism. In some of his interviews, he's expressed his support for women's rights and how society really needs to change. During the promotion of Little Women, he talked about how the story would be relevant in today's modern context and the ongoing struggle for gender equality. That's not all. Chalamet has also participated in conversations about masculinity and vulnerability. In a talk with Harry Styles, he spoke about the strength he got from embracing vulnerability and the importance of allowing oneself to express femininity, challenging traditional gender norms. He's not just handsome, but also self-aware. Cara Delevingne. This model ruled over the internet in the mid-2010s and also walked the Victoria's Secret runway. She became famous for her insanely thick eyebrows and then moved on to acting too. She's been praised for her candid advocacy on various social issues, especially women's rights and LGBTQ+ equality. In 2019, she received the Trevor Project's Hero Award for all the work that she did supporting the LGBTQ+ youth. Her love isn't just for her fellow humans. Cara also cares a lot about animal conservation. In 2016, she became the inaugural ambassador for the I'm Not a Trophy campaign, founded by artist Arnaud Elias. This initiative aims to raise global awareness about the devastating impacts of trophy hunting and poaching on endangered species. Cara's participation brought a lot of popularity to the cause and also led to a striking photo campaign where she posed nude with images of endangered animals projected onto her body, meant to be a symbol for the intimate connection between humans and wildlife. Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is not just an amazing actor, he's also a dedicated environmentalist and animal rights advocate. Oh, and he's also been vegan since the age of 3. In his 2020 Oscar acceptance speech for Best Actor in Joker, he talked about the exploitation of the natural world, condemning practices like artificially inseminating cows and taking their milk intended for calves. Phoenix's dedication extends beyond speeches. He has attended animal rights protests and collaborated with organizations such as PETA, participating in campaigns like We Are All Animals, which encourages people to live vegan and end speciesism. His activism also encompasses environmental and social justice issues. Phoenix has been involved in various initiatives promoting sustainability and ethical treatment of all beings. Joaquin does his best to use his ample resources to make the world a kinder place, especially for the animals. Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda is #1 on our list of woke celebrities because of how long she's been campaigning and fighting for the causes she believes in. Besides being a renowned actress, she's also a dedicated activist and has been a prominent voice in social and political movements since the 1960s. Her activism started all the way back when she stood in opposition to the Vietnam War. She has never been afraid of controversy, even visiting to North Vietnam in 1972, which earned her the nickname Hanoi Jane. Throughout her life, she's been vocally championing civil rights, feminism, and environmental causes. In 2019, inspired by youth climate activists like Greta Thunberg, she launched Fire Drill Fridays, a series of weekly protests in Washington, D.C. to demand action on climate change. Her commitment led to multiple arrests during these demonstrations, but of course, that hasn't stopped her from doing it again. She is Jane Fonda after all. Being in her mid-80s hasn't slowed her down. She still stays steadfast in her activism. Fonda continues to participate in climate protests, as well as calling on world powers to do something about the ongoing environmental issues. Her dedication to civil disobedience and raising awareness about the climate crisis underscores her lifelong commitment to advocacy. Fonda's activism is not limited to environmental causes. She has also been a vocal advocate for women's rights and social justice throughout her life. So, which of these celebrities do you think is the most woke? Did we miss any? Leave a comment down below and let us know. In the meantime, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. And make sure you hit the bell icon. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!